And straight back into it. Welcome back to Zelda Speedruns 2 for the second match of Ugondis versus Captain Green. Your commentators are still John Tabin and Red Octorok.
All right. We're about to start in the race room, and we are back for game 2. Reloading my commentator screen so I can see what's going on. And hello again, Red Octorok. It's my Discord. I'm on.
We can hear you. So, folks, I'll leave you with the dulcet tones of John Tabin and Red Octorok again. Bye.
All right, and they're off again.
Off for their second. This is the best out of 3. So good
Once
chances
again,
we might
both
see a
going
third
one first. Oh, I hear you clicking, Red Octorok, so your mic is working.
Welcome back, John.
Yeah. Yes. Alright, so we're into level 1. Again, let's see what kind of bomb luck we get in the first race. The first race, I believe Captain Green got skunked by the orange gorillas, and in this race it's the other way around.
Now, are they taking separate paths already, or did I just miss a...
Well, Ugondis didn't get the bomb drop that they need, so he's up here killing these guys.
Okay.
Captain Green did.
I didn't know if that was like a key split divergence, but okay, he was just no bomb luck.
Sorry, I don't know if it's on stream or just my Discord, but I missed the last thing you said.
Oh, I was saying I didn't know if that was a key like divergence thing, or if he was just. But you said he was out of bombs. It's like that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you need either a random bomb drop or to go up and kill those gorillas, and only one of them got their random bomb drop, which is often how it goes. In the so Captain Green is ready to do money making game. Oh, he doesn't have the money for it though, so he's farming rupees now.
Oh no!
Well,
He's taking out these innocent Octoroks.
he needs to get to 10 rupees to do them next. So as soon as he gets this drop coming up, there it is. He'll save and then head to the casino. Ugondis out of level 1. For those who missed last race, Ugondis is doing a magical sword route with no money-making game in it, so pathing's slightly different. He grabs his power bracelet now. Captain Green will get it a little bit later. It is required for this quest. And it's Armos that houses the blue ring shop in first quest. If you go looking for your blue ring casually, it turns out it's a level.
It's provided you found it in the first quest.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you beat first quest, you probably found the blue ring. This Rhea key is kind of annoying. But There's actually a really amazing looking manip that Shixel came up with for that room, where the I have to walk frame perfect to do it because the Armos entry doesn't establish a frame rule. But there are players in the community who can actually do it, and if done correctly, the Gorillas just all line up and converge on the bombs. It's really cool. If you check out a world record run of this, the current world record is actually tied between Black Tech and Shixel. But if you watch one of their runs, you'll see how smooth that room goes, and it is not an accident.
I see Green Mario has been playing too.
Yeah, he. Okay, this time it looked like they both got the manhandle key, right? So,
Yep.
Green Mario got a 4th place time in this category the other day. I'm sure he's going to improve that. It's although at the top level, people sometimes get exhausted after PBing, so we'll see how far he wants to push it.
So it's the breadstick in 1. What is it in 2? Is it just the whistle?
Well, it was called. Well, Arcus nicknamed it the breadstick because he nicknamed a bunch of stuff after food, like the raft was the hot dogs and stuff like that. So it still looks the same. So I imagine it's still the breadstick, although there's no Olive Garden. It's different. It's hidden
franchise
differently.
altogether.
Yeah.
That would seem much easier to get in one sense. They give it to you way earlier. I wonder if that's like a hint that you need it more.
Well, you in order to find it, you need to figure out that walk-through walls are a thing, which the chute kind of directs you towards it, but it can be a little confusing. Although it was in Nintendo Power, so I don't ever remember not knowing that walk-through walls were a thing. But if you're completely blind, that's the trick to finding it.
Looks like Ugondis has a bit of a lead.
Yeah.
Should have counted the Aquamentuses or not the Aquamentus, the Giliox you fight, because I feel like there's quite a few.
Yeah, there are a lot of Gleox, a lot of triple Dodongo rooms, and a lot of Gomas. There's a mini boss fiesta in second quest.
And Staphos, really the only ones that get like a kind of a bonus upgrade.
The ropes
shoot their
ropes do
swords.
too. There's ropes. When we're in level 8, you'll see flashing snakes. They take more hit points than the normal ropes in first quest.
I just kind of count them as their different color version versus getting a whole new attack. First, Staphos 1 is just nothing.
Well, I mean, ropes having extra hit points does kind of change the fight a lot, but you're right, not as much as giving Lionel swords to Stalfos. You go into level 1 and you're like, okay, another level 1 Stalfos dungeon, and Stalfos throws a sword at you. Like, what? Okay, we're in a different... Rules have changed. And obviously the bubbles, the red and blue bubbles.
Oh yeah, the bubbles. How great are those? Do the black keys have extra health points, or are they just kind of like a fun palette swap for the rooms?
They move faster than the blue and red keys, so and that's another second quest only enemy.
Throwing a little bit of changes at you.
Yeah.
No additional whiz robe, which is nice, because that would be a nightmare too.
Yeah, the Wizarobes and Darknuts are about the same, although they do have more mixed Darknut rooms. I'm not sure if First Quest has a room with both red and blue Darknuts in it, and Second Quest does. Very smooth ladder clip for Ugondis. I don't know if you were looking at that, but nicely done.
Like a forced Lionel room. That would have been fun, because you don't see him in the dungeons anymore. CaptainGreen whistled
before entering that grave. I assume that was intentional to set the whistle counter. Oh, no, it wasn't, because he's fixing it now. So he must have just hit the wrong button.
Good thing he caught it. The power bracelet there. It's fashionable and helpful. Something about A Link to the Past that I like is whenever you get new gear, it's reflected on the little Link sprite. It's very adorable.
I mean, that's true for the blue ring and red ring, but other than that, it's an 8-bit game. There's only so much they can do.
I mean, also, he's wearing long sleeves, so it's just hidden. It's there. You can't see it anyways.
I did see one. I saw some artwork once of like what Link would look like carrying all of his items with like bow on his back and bombs on his belt and so forth. Now this red bubble room that Captain Green is dodging through, if he touches one of those red bubbles, he has to go down the stairs and take a detour through several rooms to find a blue bubble. So that's why he was dodging those so carefully. Those super ropes he passed through.
Those ropes didn't seem like they were chasing him.
They are, but they work a little. I'm not. He wasn't on full tiles looking at them very much, so.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't get any health from that dig dogger, so he's now on 1.5 hearts, which is not super comfy at this point.
Where's Ugondis going next? His splits say, like, Betty? I can't read his little text.
Yeah, he's getting the white sword. In the randomizer community, the white sword is often called Betty, as in Betty White. Captain Green potioning now.
Good block clip from Captain Green.
Captain Green finishing up 8 as Ugondis starts up 4. Captain Green will get his own white sword next and then join Ugondis in 4. And the reason for ordering 4 before or 8 or 8 before 4 really comes down to the hard route. If you're not getting magical sword, you can just loop back this way after the ladder and do 8 before 4. But if you are getting the magical sword, then you want to get those heart containers in East Hyrule, and it makes more sense to do 4 first.
Captain Green despawning his Lionel, but then the Lionel being a jerk anyway.
Now, this time Ugondis has beams for this, what Black calls the Bubble Bobble. That's one room that has a name. Also, I think Shixel's Splits called it Garbage Room, but maybe that was Maybe that was Cananophone. Someone Splits called it Garbage Room, but yeah, Ugondis was able to clear that faster because he hit the block clip in the dark, and he had beams, so he could clear without dealing with those bubbles.
Looks like he was trying to set a count and then got bopped by a key for Ugondis there. Or is he just clearing it for the key?
Yeah, you need to clear it for the key, so...
Okay.
He didn't take damage on purpose, I don't think, but I don't think he was super concerned about the count at that point. He has 5 bombs. That's 5 bombs is okay. If you're too low on bombs, it does get scary because we got a triple Dodongo room with fireball turrets, and if you run out of bombs in that room, it's a huge loss because you have to up A out and go somewhere else to get them.
I see Captain Green has lit up the room twice. Is it just it makes the combat easier? Just to know where those blocks are?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you don't see people light it up very often, but if that's why, it's perfectly reasonable.
Trying to avoid a bubble while running into an invisible wall probably would be very annoying.
Alright, back in the raft maze.
I'm trying to think of other rooms that have pull voices and dark nuts in the same room, because that is a mean combo.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, second quest has, even when they're not enemies that don't exist in first quest, they put them in the same room in ways you don't see in first quest. And particularly in that maze room, having the Bull's voice hopping around while dark nuts are blocking the walking paths is pretty tough. Captain Green heading into the final gauntlet of 4, just as Ugondis finishes it off by grabbing the raft. Captain Green has beaten 8, but not 3. Ugondis has beaten 3, but not 8. And 8's a little bit bigger, so Captain Green looks a little bit behind, but they're actually super close.
If I'm getting a deja vu from first quest here, or their first match, not quest.
Yeah. Maybe someday we'll do a both quests tournament. You could really only do one race of that. I don't think a best of 3 would be exhausting because it's like a hour-and-a-half run, but.
Nice casual river room for Ugondis there. You don't even have to clear it.
Yeah, there are a lot of rooms that that you don't have to clear that are still difficult because the dodging's challenging. It depends on your route how dangerous they are, but.
When do they get the bow?
The bow is in level 5, and level 5 is where first quest level 4 was. So they need the raft to get to the bow. So if you can't find that path behind the Triforce, then you're stuck. And I believe Captain Green will up A and go to 5 next. Once again, he's going to save and reset, probably for count purposes. Some people try to carry a count outside of 4, so they like leave on. They just up A continue and preserve the count. But by saving and resetting, he can set everything to 0 and know exactly where he is on both global and consecutive.
Both headed to 5?
Oh. Okay, yeah, so Ugondis is buying the blue candle here. He couldn't have lit that room up if he wanted to, because he didn't have the candle yet. But, because of how his route works, but... Again, Captain Green does get the bomb force on the Wizrobe spiral. A little precarious here, but he did up A at the bow last time, so I assume he's going to do it again. So he's going to have 3 hearts as long as he gets there. We prefer not to touch one of these red bubbles. There's a blue bubble a few rooms in, but you'd rather be able to use your sword between start and there.
Skip that key.
Now, Ugondis got the manhandle key this time, I think, so, but he may or may not get the Goma key. Of course, last time he ran into trouble with the bombs in 6, so he missed a key there, so he might get the Goma key anyway, just so he doesn't have to worry about that happening. We'll see. Room Captain Green died in last run. He gets through it in this time. This key in the river, even though there's no combat in this room, it is one of the tougher rooms.
That's some good pauses.
Yeah, there's so much going on, and he did it very nicely.
Captain Green definitely seems like he keeps his cool in like very tight combat situations.
Yeah.
I like how he got promoted to captain.
Yeah.
Oh, and just a heart.
Yeah, I feel like those Vires are super stingy. There's a master Vire there, so they will, if you have the master, even though you don't have a magical sword, you can get drops on the slaves when they die, but I feel like, at least for me, they don't drop a ton.
I think they were stingy on their first round as well.
Right, Captain Green is stabbing at that fairy. It looked like he stopped to like consult notes or something, I'm not sure, but yeah. Maybe just mad that he didn't get that drop before.
Yeah, look at he's setting up a forced bomb, right? On one of the heads.
Oh.
And then I think he took a bob.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice.
He dropped a bomb for sure, and then...
Okay, well then he must have been frustrated that he didn't get the bomb force. Maybe that was a forced fairy. Maybe it was at 16. That would explain the frustration.
Now he looks like he's farming for bombs here. Oh,
yeah.
We got him.
And he's going to forego the recorder because he really needed bombs for level 6, so he's just going to walk there. We'll change the whistle route a little bit. I'm sure he will adjust to that.
Ooh, a nice manhandle for Ugondis.
Yep.
One and done.
Sometimes he plays nice.
The only bats in Hyrule there in that last screen. Double fairy.
There is, by the way, a static bomb in that dark maze room at the beginning of 6, but it's a dark maze with Wizrobes in it. You really don't want to have to clear it for that, so you don't want to go into 6 without bombs.
This is where he got stuck last time. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the Rizro just like gave him a love tap and just kind of hit him into that super awkward position. Ugondis doing his re-recorder. First cycle on the...
Yeah, very nice Goma there.
Yeah.
Captain Green is going to up A and take the any road to East Hyrule now. He will do level 3, which Ugondis has already done. And so once Captain Green is done with 3, you can see based on where Ugondis is by then, the lead is.
Yeah, they're about to... It goes 3 for him, and then 7, and then 6, and then 7. I feel like...
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, Ugondis will, after 6, he's going to go collect an overworld heart and get the magical sword, and then go to 7. So he'll be doing his magical sword errands while Captain Green is finishing up 3, or, well, Captain Green will probably be out of 3 by then, so Captain Green has a bit of a lead. We saw in last race about how much the magical sword can close the gap in 7, so certainly,
Oh yeah, it really,
certainly pretty close.
I suppose if your bombs are just perfect, you can get like a pretty good lead, but that just seems so hard in a race situation to...
Yeah, they're well-developed bomb strats for all those rooms, but like, only a handful of people have practiced them enough to really go fast with them. It is not free at all too. It's not like, oh, you just skip the walk to the magical sword and the runs faster. It's
Yeah. It's...
Yeah.
Burning some Gurias alive there.
Green filling up his bombs at the end of 3, which is really nice, going into 8 with White Sword. Or 7 with White Sword. The game considers the 8 and 7 are swapped in the game's head because like the Triforce pieces and some other coding related stuff under the hood. And same thing with 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And 4 and 5, they kind of have to do that because otherwise you could get the level 4 Triforce and then whistle to level 5, but not how it works.
You think it'd be easier just to program like whistle points and then you don't have to worry about what dungeons you complete.
I feel like a lot of people get through the casual game without really understanding the whistle mechanics anyway. You just whistle until you get where you want to go.
Yeah.
We have it all carefully routed in the speedrun, of course. There was a speedrunner back in the day whose name I will not mention, who had a cheated Zelda 1 supposed world record, and I went back and watched the video and I realized it was so long ago and there were so few people who knew the game that people noticed that his drops were wrong, but I looked at the run itself, and his whistle counts were all wrong too. He was going places that made no sense because it was all spliced together. Can't really get away with that anymore. We know too much about the game.
We can still submit via VHS tapes, right? To speedruns.com.
I mean, you need it digitized, but
Video proof. C Attach cassette tape. Laser disc if you fancy.
To kill that last key is to push the block. Oop, there he is. Alright, so... God is just a couple rooms behind.
Captain has a ton of health. I feel like...
He does not... He has 3 bombs, which, with the white sword, he probably wants another force, so...
If he pays the heart, does it take away the one that's like already injured, or does it take one full heart away?
He takes one of the full hearts, and yeah,
So
you can't get beams back by paying the old man, unfortunately.
That'd be kind of a fun, like, swag stat.
Yeah. So he did get that bomb force there.
And beams back.
Ugondis hot on his heels with the magical sword. See,
This is a good room to show off the magical sword, though. An interesting game as far as the enemies are concerned, because a lot of them like aren't actively like pursuing Link. It's kind of you just bump into them more than they bump into you.
well, they do have a sort of complicated system where they're usually chasing
Every other
either Link or the position across the screen from Link, because the way the targeting system works, there's like a Link and then there's an anti-Link position that's sort of mirrored. And,
I'm sure it's not in the code, but I feel like the Tektites, they know where you are, and they come for you.
like Captain Green's just skipping the recorder entirely this time and walking up to 9. Just...
Is it far away, or is it just a handful of screen?
I mean, at this point, it's just it's recorder will takes you. Well, he's probably going to pass the screen that the recorder takes you to. Oh no, he's not, because he's going up there. But it's the far northwest corner, so that's where he's heading. And when Ugondis recorders, he will be one screen below this screen, so make up some time. I think Captain Green's whistles got messed up with at some point earlier, so he gave up on fixing them. So, a little bit of time made up just on the overworld there for Ugondis, but Captain Green's still a little ahead. If he can maintain this lead and give us a game 3. Or if Ugondis can put this away right now.
It's a close.
Yeah.
You got white sword versus magical sword. You got beams here for Ugondis. Ooh. Taking a few bops. We got the potion ready, so not too scary, just...
And he is going to up A.
Okay, yeah, so... Don't even need the hearts. Yeah, those guys move fast.
Yep. Oh, Ugondis up-A'd. He's he's trying to catch up. See if the play pays off. He did not up-A in the first race, but you know, sometimes you got to take some risks to go faster.
Seems like his were playing nice there, just kind of staying right in his middle shot range.
Captain Green did get I think he did force a fairy at some point, right? So, has a couple more hearts, but either of them need the bubble key now.
I don't know this layout. Go on, sorry.
These Patra fights coming up are so dangerous on low health, so and Magical Sword will speed up the Patra fights, so we'll see Ugondis closes the gap here, but I think they still both have potion, so and there's a good chance both of them will need it.
Ugondis just going through. Getting up close to that Patra. No fear.
Oh, you can see the gap closing. Here we go. They're going to be in the same room in a sec. A pretty good Patra for Captain Green, though. He's going to be going into Ganon as Ugondis comes into this room.
All right, he's got enough hearts. He can take that last Ganon hug. Oh no, you got us.
Potioning now.
Captain Green might have it? Is that a stun?
Yep, he's got it. Ugondis right behind him into Ganon.
Oh man, now it's...
What a great race. Both races were good, actually.
And we get another.
Yep. Open that race room now.
Ooh, Uganda's getting a good fast Ganon fight.
With the Magical Sword, it only takes 4 hits, so he can go a little bit faster than Captain Green could, and they're both beating the game. We have a SRL time, or sorry, that's a throwback. We have a race time GG time of 36:47 for Captain Green, which is excellent, and a 37:10 for Ugondis, which is also very, very good. Some great runs in that one. What a treat! And we will.
Get a game 3, I want to say. All right. So, once again, I guess just like before, quick break. John is going to set up game 3, I imagine. Already on it, so we'll be right back. Stay tuned.